like a shawl kind of top thing, but I love the eye on here and the sleeve, so I decided to wear it today. I needed something to boost my mood. Um, hey Bentley, hey, how are you? How are you feeling? I'm so happy to see you here today. Hi Nia, how are you? Rich Rising. Yes, I'm ready for this week too. I am ready for this week as well. Hello, hi Rahel, how are you? Hi Michelle, good morning. Amy, good morning. 4 a.m. in San Diego, thank you for joining me. My heart, thank you so much. I'm so excited for day 3 too. How was yesterday for you? Okay, Michelle, you used your crystal for gratitude last night. How did it feel waking up? Like, let me know. Because ironically, I did it before I took a nap, but I forgot to do it last night. And let me tell you, I felt the difference when I woke up today. I was like, ooh, I'm in a bit of a mood. Let me journal really quickly, and then we put on something nice to wear to see all of my friends because I gotta elevate the mood. Oh, I love that you were happier than normal. Yes, feeling good and grateful. These are all beautiful signs that the work is working. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm just gonna pull up the notes for today so that we can, remain on track. Because my goal is always, guys, is to get you guys out of here on time so that you can enjoy the rest of your day, no matter where you are in the world, whatever time it is. I want to make sure that we respect and honor that. So I'm pulling that up right now for day 3. Here we go. Perfect. Okay. Yay! Yesterday was good. So happy when I saw my little crystal on my pillow. Right? It's just like a fun little treat. Like, oh, hey there. Like, how are you? And then you remember when you look at it, just the intention as to why it's there. You remember like what, even maybe what you put into it the night before, and it just brings the vibration all the way up for you. You know, it's just creme de la creme. I love it. I'm actually going to just adjust this really quickly. Okay, perfect. Okay, my Okay, is it blocking you guys? Okay, we're good. Yes, perfect. This makes me so happy. Good morning, Lotus and all. I'm much less overwhelmed. Vita, that's amazing. That's amazing. Accomplish what needed to be done. Yes, not time to get ready for vacation. Now time to get ready for vacation. Yes, for vacation. That's what I'm calling in, y'all. I'm calling in a vacation for myself personally. Good morning. Hi, Rojas. Nice to meet you. Yes, yesterday's session lifted me. I really needed that, Deb. I'm so happy, and I hope that today does the same for you. We're going to be talking about magic relationships, okay? And what that even means, what that looks like. So, again, this is a safe space. So, at any moment in time, you feel like, ooh, what we're talking about feels a little tender, and you maybe don't know exactly how to manage it or handle it, like let us know, let me know, so that I can continue to hold space for you, and also so that the other wonderful people here can also hold space for you too, because that's the beautiful thing about this community is that we're all holding this space together. So if something comes up, this is it's probably coming up because you feel safe enough to explore it here. So let's explore it. Let's also, remember to be kind in our passion. I know many of us are very passionate about wellness and well-being, and we want the people that we meet in this space to feel uplifted and cared for, but we want to do it in a tender way, right? We don't want anyone to feel pressured, or feel like what they're feeling is invalid, because what you're feeling is valid. Whether I agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. It really is the fact that you felt it, so it's true for you. And ultimately, what we want to do is just have you have a space where you can feel your feelings, okay? So I just wanted to put that out there just so that we know that everything is good. And a reminder to check my link in my profile on Insight Timer so that you guys can join the email list to get more goodies and things like that that I send out every week, okay? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Dolly. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome. Ah, yes, 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 yes. So important. So what we'll do is we'll kind of go over the understanding of what today is about. We'll do our guided meditation, and then we'll jump into our EFT session, okay? So please make sure you have water. It's super important that when you're tapping, that you have water to hydrate, especially because I think there's a full moon happening this week too. So if you're feeling a little extra tired or a little off-putting, it could also be that mixed with the new Gemini energy. So please grab some water. I have my little morning drink here. I did drink some water before we started, so I'm gonna take a nice little sip. Okay, so I have the rosemary and mint tea today, but I added raspberry and tulsi, and then some sea moss. And it's like super thick. It's like a thick tea. It's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste. It's good. It's just the texture is interesting to have this early in the morning. Okay, good. Good. Checking in on you. Okay. Oh, so Dahlia, yesterday we talked about magic charms and how you can utilize a crystal, a rock, even a seashell, a favorite item. I have mine right here. And let's see if my camera roll. There we go. I have this right here. And essentially you use it to infuse gratitude into it before you go to sleep to help you wake up with a better spirit and energy. And that's what we worked on yesterday. So these sessions will be recorded, but they're not going to be released the same day. They'll be released later on in the year. So everything will just be live on here for now, okay? Because I want to make sure that I edit it and stuff like that, and that takes time. So, you know, that's what the crystals are. Yes, okay, let me just close this window because as much as I love the birds chirping, I actually genuinely enjoy it. The cars going by, though, it's going to make it very hard for the recording. Hold on one second. Ah, there we go. So much better. Perfect. So much better. Okay, let's do this. So, day 3, magic relationships. Our connection with others infuses life with joy, meaning, and purpose. Relationships wield unparalleled power in shaping our lives, serving as potent channels for gratitude to work its magic. Even modern science validates ancient wisdom. Practicing gratitude strengthens relationships, fostering deep connections with loved ones. Research reveals a crucial ratio. For every complaint about a relationship, 10 blessings are needed for it to thrive. Now, when I first read this, I was like, day 3? Really? This feels intense. But ultimately, everything is about relationships. Whether this is the relationship to yourself, to your source, your God, whoever you call on to, if it's the relationship to the animals in your life, to the children in your life, to your parents, to your friends, to your romantic interests, like everything is to your barista when you go and get your morning drink, like everything is a relationship. And it's really important to remember that. It's important to remember that you are in a dynamic with someone else, that that other person is also living a life that you only know a part of. You don't know what they went through this morning to get to where they are to meet you or in that day. And there's a level of gratitude and grace that we can practice giving to others and then be able to receive for ourselves, right? A lot of times people are just needing extra grace. I can't tell you how many times, you see somebody like with an attitude, or, someone's just is, just not bringing the vibe that you wanted. And later on you find out that they're going through something, right? Or they just had like a really rough day. And I'm always grateful for the times where I chose not to match their energy, but instead I chose to remain in my energy and to remain a grounded and centered person. One, because personally there's like a level of power to that, of like, even though you're behaving in this way, and this is wild for us to, for me to be experiencing, I'm not going to match your energy. I'm not going to come out of character. I'm not going to come out of my alignment to address you being out of yours. What I will do is model behavior to the best of my ability. So maybe that's giving you some grace. Maybe that's me taking some space and time for myself and then coming back to the dynamic when I feel fortified in my divine truth. But ultimately, when we are aware of how we're showing up in our relationships and we're conscientious of the level of gratitude in it, it changes everything. I can't tell you, when I reflected on day 3, when I did it the first few times, every time I had a relationship that I was struggling with, there was a lack of gratitude for that person coming from me. And mainly because I felt like they were being ungrateful about me, right? And then I was matching that energy, and then we were in this type of turmoil, whether it was a romantic relationship, whether it was with my mom or a close friend. I'm sorry, guys, I hear like the radio. Oh, again, outside. I live in a city. But yeah, it's so important that we remember to trust in that and be like, you know what? I'm going to give you grace today, because honestly, there are days where I need grace. There are days where I know that I'm not in the best of moods, and I'm really grateful when my friends and family just know that, oh, Lotus is not being herself. Let me just give her a moment, as opposed to like adding this pressure on, or even just like highlighting it, like, oh my God, not you being in a mood, like, ill, like, get away from me, because it doesn't help me, right? It just puts me in a worser mood. It doesn't make me feel better. It's not making me feel like, oh, okay, you see me. If anything, I may have been trying to hide the fact that I was in a mood, and now you just made it aware that like it's very apparent, you know? So there's a level of softness and grace that comes with being in a relationship. Yeah, like remain in alignment to the best of your ability. You're not perfect. So there are going to be some times when people try you and they're going to mess around and find out. And that might be the journey and the experience that they need to have had that day, right? But ultimately, if you're practicing gratitude for your dynamics, it will allow you to show up in a softer, kinder way. I think one of the best compliments that I receive from my girlfriends and from my close, intimate relationships is that they don't feel judged when they're around me, that they can literally be themselves and they know that I love them regardless. That they can kind of pretty much tell me that they're going through anything, and I am just like, how can I help and support you? Because that's more important to me than being right, than making them feel less than. These are not things that I aspire to in my relationships. And I'm happy to know that the work that I'm doing internally and in my wellness and spiritual practice reflects, and that my friends feel safe around me, right? That my family feels safe around me to share themselves no matter how they are. And I spoke about this, um, I think in like the first spirit hour, it even brought me to tears because for the majority of this year, I have not been this at all, right? Like happy, very centered, calm. I was distressed. I was grieving. I was angry. I was moody. I was sad. Um, I felt very hopeless in certain areas of my life. And not once did I have someone in my life make me feel bad about that. If anything, they just held space for me to feel how I was feeling, um, and allow me to come out of it on my own or when I needed them, right? And I feel like that is so important to have. And this exercise is going to help you build that foundation for your relationships. And throughout the 28 days, we'll be circling back around to relationships and you'll be able to deepen it even more, okay? Bentley, no worries, okay? No worries at all. For whatever reason, we have a fly joining us today, which essentially means money is coming. So I welcome it, but I am a little annoyed by it. So bear with me. I left my screen up and we have a garden outside. So such is life. Okay. How is all that feeling for you all? How do you guys feel about your close relationships? And again, if you guys want to do the exercise that comes in the book for this specific day, the book is called The Magic. And I sent out a free PDF earlier. Here we go. Um, here we go. If you guys want to do the actual exercise. And essentially, TJ, can you expand on that? Okay, here we go. Yes, but if you keep doing that, they'll take no. And I want us to be very understanding about what it means to show up in that light, right? So there's something that I say often where I'm not a nice person, but I am a kind person. And I feel like a lot of times we get the two confused, and that's when our boundaries get crossed and people think they can take advantage of you. There's nobody that I know personally that thinks that they can take advantage of me, but I am a very kind person. Now, I do feel like when we're operating out of a sense of niceness, of like, oh, I don't want to, hurt your feelings, and, I just want you to like me, and it's really important that you do, then you find people take advantage of you because that's not a space where you can sustain operating from, right? Me being kind is that I know I have a good heart, and I'm going to do what I can for you to the best of my ability, and either you're going to show me that I can continue doing that, or you're going to show me that you don't want that experience. And I'm going to respect whatever it is you show me. A lot of times people will show you that they do not care that you're being kind to them, or that you're willing to go above and beyond for them because they don't want to go above and beyond for you, or ultimately they don't feel like they deserve someone going above and beyond for them. And that's just what they've internalized from their relationships, right? And that can make them want to take advantage of you. But if you're operating from your heart space, as in this is who I am, and you're not going to change who I am because you've been through some things that you need to sit with, that there's a posture there, right? And hopefully you're able to hear it even in the way that I'm expressing it. There's a posture to being kind. There's no posture in being nice. People who are nice get walked over. That is what I've witnessed throughout life. People who are kind are respected, they're cared for, they're cherished, and they aren't being taken advantage of because there's no space for that to happen, right? I'm kind to you because that's who I am. Sometimes people are nice to other people because that's what they think that they should be doing. But that's ultimately, that may not be how you feel. So I'm also very honest in the sense of, if I'm around somebody that I don't want to be kind to, I will remove myself so that I can remain kind, because I also know that, like, oh, I'm not going to extend that to you because I'm human. You know? I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people in this world that are like, oh, Lotus is mean. And I wouldn't disagree with them. Am I kind though? Yes. Will I let you take advantage of me because you think that my kindness means that I'm nice and that, there's a level of weakness to me? No, absolutely not. So you have to have that heart posture for yourself and express that in your relationships, right? I have a close friend who is going through that right now, where she's finally shifting the dynamics in her relationship. And these people who are used to taking advantage of her for years are retaliating. They're livid, they're upset, because it's like, how dare you now want to value yourself? Because now you're no longer a benefit to me. I could come to you, take advantage of you, get what I want, all these things, and never have to give anything back. And now you're switching from being nice to being kind, and now you have all these new boundaries, and I have to respect them, but I didn't do that before, right? And it rubs them the wrong way. And that's understandable because they're used to getting things the way that they're used to getting things. But when you're ready to shift that, when you're ready to accept a deeper level of worthiness for yourself, of like, I actually don't deserve to be treated like this. And just because I am a kind person doesn't mean that you get to take advantage of me. It shifts the entire game. And I really do believe that gratitude helps us with that. Gratitude allows us to come from a space of, this is what's on my heart to do, and I'm going to do it because it's on my heart. And ultimately, I don't even necessarily care how you receive it, because it's coming from my heart. Because you can come from your heart and someone can sit there and be like, oh, I don't want this because of what they're going through. You can't account for their life. You can't account for their experiences. And when you try to, you end up being nice and you end up being walked over and not accounting for your own life. And it's so important that you account for your own life because you're the one living it, right? I know that my camera's bringing it out of focus because the sun is rising, so just bear with me. But let me know if that makes sense, or if you need more clarity on that, okay? Yeah, you have to be unafraid to walk away sometimes, TJ. And let me tell you, it's extremely uncomfortable. I feel like sometimes people assume that I don't feel things and me having to walk away. But I've had to set boundaries with my mother, with loved ones, with romantic partners. That wasn't an easy thing to do. I'm a very loving person. I just ultimately want to love you. I just want to love on you. I'm very like cuddly wuddly. I'm very much like attentive, and you can tell me one detail about yourself and I will always remember that. Right? I am very big on birthdays. I want you to feel special. I want you to know that you're important to me. All of those things are extremely true. And in order for me to maintain that level of character, I have to know when to walk away if you're not going to respect that that's how I'm showing up in my relationships. And it is not an easy thing to do at all. But with practice, you get to a space of, I'm comfortable with my decision of walking away from this dynamic. Now, this is coming from somebody that's walked away from their own parent. I've had to dissociate with my mother plenty of times and give space because I'm like, oh, you're not treating me the way that I know I deserve to be treated. And I'm not even taking it personally. Like, this is what you grew up experiencing, this is what you know, and I can still respect your experience while honoring what it is that I need to experience from you. Not pushing it on you like, if you don't do this or else. It's not an ultimatum. It's ultimately saying your behavior is not suitable for my livelihood. And I have to protect myself first and foremost before anything. Right? Okay. Roha, the PDF was given out in the weekly email. So if you join the email list, I'll have it linked again for you to receive it, so that you can follow along for the rest of the time, whether you do it with me on the live or if you just do it for yourself to have later on. I've been using that same PDF, the link, for years, but I can't drop links here in Insight Timer. Okay, I agree with having gratitude and giving and receiving light to others, compassion and gratitude. Yes, Amy. I feel supported in my close relationships. I love this for you, Mia. and a sense of gratitude in a place where I can receive it fully without downplaying it. Isn't that so wonderful to feel? Like, this is what the goal is of these 28 days, is for you to get to that space where you can have that, right? Where you can cultivate that in your close relationships. Hold on 1 second. Let me just, yeah, better. Perfect. Okay. Yes, I'm a very kind person. I can tell that, TJ. That's why I said what I say. I'm like, you're kind, right? Kind people tend to be like, ooh, I don't know. Like, but it's just that you need boundaries. You know, it's just a great way to like fortify your boundaries and see like what's working for you, what's not working for you, right? Yesterday, I totally matched the energy of someone in a close relationship, spent the rest of the day mad and alone. It's so crazy how that happens, right? Because you too, probably, Amy, are a very kind person. I'm just going to throw that out there. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But you're probably a kind person too. And you probably got to a point where it's like, see, I keep trying with you and you keep giving me something I don't want to give, right? But when we really sit and reflect on those dynamics, you'll find that this is probably like the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time they've done this to you. It's not the first time, right? You're not just snapping on people. They've done this a lot, right? And they have not respected your space. And now you're coming to them like, you know what? Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to just have this one-on-one situation. But I love that you were able to reflect and realize like, oh yeah, this left me in a bad space. Because essentially when you match someone's energy, you're just saying, I'm willing to be where you're at. And when it's an energy that feels a little malicious, out of alignment, you know, it's a more of a heavier feeling, you're probably somewhere up here vibrating and then deciding to come down here. When in fact, when we meet people that are vibrating at a different frequency than us, and I don't want to say lower or higher because there's not a hierarchy to this, right? Like, you know, no one's better than anybody else. Let me be very clear about that. But for visual effect, you're vibrating at a certain frequency and they're vibrating here and you guys interact. It's normally so that they can raise their vibration to match your frequency so that they can be more loving and kind and things like that. And that's with whatever dynamic. So even if you're the person that's vibrating a little lower, when I come in contact with somebody that is like feeling good, is out here smiling, things like that, I've now have cultivated the awareness to know like, ooh, the universe is inviting me to level up. But quite often, because many people who are in that high vibing place do not have that level of posture, they will tend to come back down and meet that person where they're at, and now they both aren't at the frequency they could be at. Does that make sense? And it doesn't mean that you aren't good at what you're doing or that you're a bad person. You're human, right? And this also matters a lot. What matters a lot is like how you take care of yourself. So if you're not taking really good care of yourself, it's going to be super easy for you to be like, who are you talking to? You can't be talking to me, right? As opposed to being like, ooh, I took really good care of myself today. And that's a reminder that I'm worthy of really beautiful experiences. And you can join me in this beautiful experience. But what I will not do is join you in the experience that you're having. Because the experience that you're having, I'm not enjoying right now. So you do with that what you want. But I'm going to go and remain on my frequency. And it's a practice. This is not a once you get it, it's everyday situation. It's a constant practice. It's a constant strengthening that muscle. And then you'll notice that in certain situations, everything switches for you and you're in this space where it's almost natural to just be like, oh, I'm going to send you love and light over there, boo, but don't bring that over here. Stay where you're at. If you're gonna keep that energy, keep the energy. I'm not forcing you to be better either. I'm not forcing you to be in my frequency. This is an invitation, but I will decline yours because I don't want that experience. And be at peace with that, no matter what their title is in your life. That can be like significant other, parent, sometimes our children, right? Sometimes they be having a little attitude. You're like, okay, let's pause for a moment. We're all human. We're gonna have moody moments. Just acknowledge that's what's happening, and you just had a moment, and that's okay. Yes, could have been so different if I had been able to stay grounded in myself. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, they never go above and beyond for me. Yeah, yeah. And when you realize that, just let that be true. You know, there's also that theory of let them. It's okay if that's what they do. Like, it really is. I know it sounds like, what do you mean, Lotus? Like, it's actually not okay that I'm treated that way. It's not okay that you're being treated that way, but it is okay that that is who they are. Sometimes the universe, God, source, whoever you call on to, presents people in your life to help you see where you've come from, what you've grown out of, or a lot of times to mirror things for you, right? Of like, hey, this could be you. Do you like this person? Do you like how they're expressing themselves? Oh, you don't. So let's take note of how they're living their life and to see if you're matching in that. Because sometimes you can just see somebody like, oh, you're just not taking good care of yourself, and that's why you're being moody. Or, oh, you're in a relationship where you're not being valued, and now you're trying to take it out on me. I don't want either of those experiences. So this is good for me to know and for me to move away from, right? You don't have to keep people in your life because of the title that they have. You can have healthy boundaries, but that is something that you have to feel brave enough and comfortable enough to do. And it is something that most society will look at you crazy for. Trust me, I've had my fair share of people telling me that I'm a horrible child because I was not in contact with my mom for a certain amount of time. And I had to really remind myself through self-care and practice in community that I'm doing this out of the love for myself. It is not that I love my parent any less. It is simply that I love myself so deeply, the way that for me that God sees me, that I'm not willing to engage with somebody that is not going to be a safe space for me, regardless of their title. And that was not an easy thing to do, right? But also, as I had that space, I worked on myself and my sense of gratitude and focusing on looking at my mom as a woman, as like, okay, before she had me, she had a whole life. She was married, she went to college, she had parents, like, she was a whole being before she met me. And then she had this journey of motherhood. And when I was able to look at her as a person as opposed to the title she had in my life, I was able to give her gratitude. I was able to give her grace. And ultimately, I was able to reshape that dynamic to where we are now in a healthier place now. It took time. But also, in me being able to do that was a primary relationship like my mom. I literally have no tolerance for anyone's bullshit, to be quite honest. It's very much like, look, my own mother has to treat me the way that I need. You're going to have to either fall in line or find someone else to commune with. It just won't be me. And it rubs people the wrong way. So I want to be very transparent about that. Like, you may not be everybody's favorites, but the people that do love and cherish you, you're going to feel so safe with because they see all of who you are and they love you as you are. You don't have to perform. You don't have to you don't have to walk on eggshells around them. They enjoy you. The people in my life enjoy me, like all of me. My good, my bad, my ugly, they enjoy me as a person. I'm grateful that I was able to cultivate those experiences. Okay? Love this clarification for nice and kind. Yeah, Vita, it's so important. I tell people all the time. I tell my niece that too, so that she understands. Like, I'm not a nice person, at all. No, but kind, yes. Kind, yes. If I need to give you the shirt off my back, I will. Right? But I'm not just going to tolerate your dysfunction because society tells me to do so. That I'm not doing. Um, how can I stop compulsive niceness? I would say, Amy, like, definitely with the practice that we're going to do today with the guided meditation and tapping is going to already inspire your subconscious and your conscious mind to get on that wavelength of being kind and using gratitude as an anchor, as a guide in your relationships. But I would also begin documenting your life and just taking into review of how you move in certain relationships, right? So I know the activity in the book for this one, and I want to stay on time too because I'm noticing the time. I don't want you guys to be here for too long. But the activity is that you take 3 relationships in your life and you write 5 things that you're grateful for each one of them. And the way that I normally do this exercise is it's me as one of those relationships. I write about myself. I literally say thank you to me because I'm existing in this world, and I think that's important. My second relationship is normally the one that I have with God, universe, source, whoever you call on to. And then my third relationship might be like the closest relationship that I have right now, right? So for in this moment, it would be like one of my sisters, and put that down. And you write 5 things you're grateful for. And that helps you to begin reflecting, right? And the second level of this, we'll talk more about it, but it's for a dysfunctional relationship, and it helps you to see what it provides you. Because even in the unhealthy relationships, there is still something to be grateful for. And it doesn't, I know that sounds kind of like, whoa, but when we get to that day, it'll make sense. I don't want to jump ahead, but start by documenting yourself. rereading your journal entries or listening to your voice notes and seeing what comes up and being honest in those, right? Like we talked about this, I want to say maybe yesterday or the day one, writing down what you go through and being honest in a space, whether that's your journal or audio, you need those moments. Otherwise, you don't realize that you've been lying to yourself. A lot of times we make a lot of excuses for people, right? Thinking that we're giving them grace, and grace is not making excuses. Grace is honoring that they're human, right? Making excuses is just like, oh, they treated me poorly because X, Y, Z. Like that's not your business, to be quite honest. You know, you're here to extend them grace of like, you know what, I see that they're in a mood. Let me give them grace by giving space and refocusing on myself until they're ready to have a conversation with me. Okay? I'm gonna see if I can like move this up so that it can stay focusing. Okay, let's see. That retaliation happened to me whenever I try to stand up for myself. Yes, Amy, the retaliation is going to happen. And I don't enjoy it. And I'm very sorry that you've had to have that experience yourself. I know what it's like to be retaliated against. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. But that's where the self-care comes in the community, right? And fortifying that practice for yourself. So when I feel the retaliation, and I actually just went through this like literally a couple of days ago with my niece's father. Him and I do not see eye to eye at all. And he retaliated, is very upset with me. And of course, the first thing that I feel is just like, oh my God, was I being mean, right? Was I being mean to him? Because ultimately, that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is protect my niece and my sister, right? Not just be a malicious person because I don't like someone. But then I realized, like, oh, it's not that I don't like him. It's that I don't like the way he treats the people I care about, right? And you start to dissect and reflect and be like, oh, okay, who? So obviously he thinks that it's about him. So he's going to retaliate against me. But that's really not true. The truth is, he as a person does not bother me. Him as a father, him as a co-parent bothers me, right? It's the titles that I don't enjoy. I don't think he's stepping into the role correctly, right? But he as a person is different. And when I'm able to separate those things, it makes it a lot easier for me to give him grace and also to be grateful for him, because it's like, wow, you being in my life in this proximity is the reason why I can strengthen this muscle. You retaliating against me is the reason why I can fortify my knowingness of who I am and what I will and will not accept in life. You know? Oh, I'm so happy with the conversation, Michelle. Yes, yes, thank you. You confirmed I did the right thing. You did do the right thing. Yes. I trust in that. And trust in your intuition. I know a lot of people go sit there and be like, look, I don't know, try to work it out for the sake of this, for the sake of them. But also think about the sake of you. Like, yes, it would be great for me to do this for those people, but I'm not living as those people. I'm living as me. And me right now feels like this is unhealthy, abusive, misaligned. I don't want this experience. So I'm going to have to prioritize my well-being first and trust that in me prioritizing my well-being, I ultimately will be doing what's best for me and my loved ones. Okay? No, it isn't easy. Families are difficult. Yes, families seem to be the most difficult dynamics you'll ever experience in life, for whatever reason that is. No, it's not easy. It took 8 years to walk away from my best friend. Yeah, I've lost a lot of friendships, and it is. I feel like those are more painful than the romantic ones personally. TJ, good for you for finding that strength. Yes, I agree, Michelle. It hurts me to do that, but it's okay. Yeah, you're gonna hurt, but also like you're human, right? It's a part of your human experience to experience hurt. Not all the time, but you're gonna experience pain. You're gonna experience disappointment. You're gonna experience frustration, anger. You're going to have those experiences. The goal of well-being is not for you not to experience them. It's for when they come up, you understand that your emotions are guiding you to some type of wisdom, to some type of insight, so that you can feel more aligned in your life. That's usually why the contrast, which is the anger, the frustration, the sadness, the loneliness, it comes up to say, hey, something in your life does not belong here. Let's review it so that we can replace it with what is going to allow you to flourish, right? I'm just making sure I'm catching up on everything. Yes, you guys are so loving. It makes me so happy. Okay, Nadia, how do you stay in your own vibration? A lot of self-care and practice. Oh, twin, hi. So important. Self-care. And lots of water. I know I say this all the time, but water really helps you to stay in your vibration because it moves energy. Emotions are energy in motion. And I've spoken about this plenty of times. But essentially, water helps to process it so you can move it through the body so you're not feeling it being built up in a certain place. Because when energy is built up in the body, it feels very depressing, it feels very heavy. And when energy is built up in the mind and in the head, it feels very anxious. You feel like you're experiencing a lot of anxiety. It's normally because the energy that needs to move through the entire body has not moved through the entire body. So drinking water, moving your body mindfully, whether that's like going for walks or stretching or yoga, however you want to move your body, dancing, all of these things allow you to maintain your vibration. Also, it's the concept of sharpening the saw. So, like reading books, listening to audios, podcasts, being in spaces like this, all this helps you to maintain your vibration. Because when you're going through those things, because it is not societal norm, you're going to feel out like an outlier. You're going to feel like you don't belong in that space. And the next feeling that comes from that is how do I get to belong in the space, right? Even if you don't want to, it's a natural response in our humanity to want to be a part of our tribe, to not feel isolated and alone. Nobody wants to feel like the ugly duckling, right? Or like the black sheep of the family. So you will naturally want to assimilate. In order to sustain your vibration, to be okay with being the black sheep, right? It's important that you have spaces where you can still have that tribe-like feeling, right? So communities like this, maybe if you are someone who like practices religion, go into those spaces. If you are someone who, has like wellness classes or things like that that you go to, those are all great ways for you to help maintain the vibration. It's both of solitude and taking care of your mental and your physical on your own, but also having people fortify what is it you're experiencing. The same way that in the comments right now, we're loving on TJ and being like, look, we've been there. You're not alone in this. That is helping them to maintain their vibration of like, okay, I'm not, I'm not out of my mind. I am respecting myself. And that there's a group of people who I don't even know, right? That see me and honor me. And that is a way that we can sustain our vibrations as well. Let me know if that makes sense, okay? Sometimes I can't set boundaries because I feel like someone will get offended. Yeah, people are gonna get offended. People are gonna get offended, Bunny. I'm not gonna hold you. People are offended. You're gonna offend people and get mad at me because of previous relationships. Yes, yeah. Thank you so much, TJ, for the donation. Yeah, people are gonna get offended. They are. They're not going to enjoy the fact that you're deciding to put yourself first. They're not going to enjoy the fact that you feel the need to have a boundary because people think that boundaries are for them, and it has nothing to do with other people. And I will definitely rehost my boundaries workshop at some point on Insight Timer. But boundaries have nothing to do with other people, y'all. Boundaries are for you. Boundaries are for you. My boundaries are in place. I love to look at boundaries as a fence, like a cute little picket fence, not a wall, right? Those are barriers. Walls are barriers, and that's super unhealthy because people can't see you and see what you need. But a cute little fence that goes around my yard, this is my yard where I'm at, right? And I have a little gate. And if I open the gate and let you in, you can come in, but understand that there is a boundary, right? Understand that when we're in my yard, we're playing by my rules. And if you don't want to play by my rules, that's also okay. Just stay on the other side of the fence and be okay with that. It's not about other people, it's about me. When I'm in my fence, I'm keeping myself safe, which helps me to maintain my own vibration, which allows me to be my best self, which allows me to be a friendly neighbor to everyone else in my community, in my neighborhood. It's super important that I maintain that fence, right? And people look at it like, oh, you're trying to keep me out. And it's like, no, I'm not trying to keep you out. But like again, if you want to join me on the side of the fence, you're gonna have to play by my rules. And that's not a very controlling aspect. I know that can sound like that. It's simply like my rules are being kind, being considerate, right? Knowing how to manage your emotions or how to properly express them so that you're not trauma dumping on me. Because I know I have a type of energy where people want to tell me, their deepest, darkest secrets, which in the right space, I'm all here for. But that can't be a 24/7 thing because I'm human, right? And I have my own things that I got to deal with. Like having those things in place helps me. It has nothing to do with other people. My boundaries literally are not about other people at all. I'm not thinking, let me keep this person out because they're bad for me. I'm thinking, let me make sure I can sustain my own energy and the love that I've cultivated for myself, and that's not leaking out. Also, too, when I'm in a mood, let me make sure that I'm not leaking out onto other people and making other people feel bad either, right? I don't take offense to people who have boundaries because I know it's not about them keeping me out, because I understand what boundaries are for, right? Now, barriers are different. And people might think you're putting up a barrier, and that might be something that you want to sit with and make sure that you're not putting up a barrier. You're not trying to keep people away from you, but you're simply just trying to sustain your own well-being. Okay? Hi, Ginger. Okay, honing in on the taking care of yourself part. That is what I know. I am bad. That's why I'm in a bad mood. I know that's right, Ashley. I automatically know I need to take care of it. Yes. When you're in a bad mood, you're like, ooh. And I've gotten to a space where instead of trying to push through the bad mood, which I feel like I was taught to do when I was younger, I instead will remove myself from the situation and be like, I'm actually not in the best space for this. And sometimes people want to keep you there, like, well, I don't care that you're not in the best space. We're talking about it now. And I want to respect that for you. But in order for me to properly engage in this conversation with you, I'm going to have to take a step back. And hopefully you'll want to revisit the conversation. And if you don't want to, because you're here present now to do this, I understand that. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just also know that if I continue talking to you like this, how I'm feeling, I'm going to become disrespectful. And that's going to be against me and my character. And I'm not willing to do that. And people are not going to, people are going to be offended. Like, not you not wanting to talk to me right now. It's like, I also said what I said. I don't have the capability to talk to you right now. And I'm not willing to be mean to you because you need to talk right now. Things happen. Okay, I recently had people leave after I set boundaries. Even bigger for me is setting boundaries with a system or culture continues to act a certain way or set certain expectations of how I operate within it. Ginger is so real, so true. I felt that. I felt that so much. People are gonna leave when you set boundaries. You gotta be okay with that too, because again, they're not. Okay, I'm gonna talk on this for maybe 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna jump into the guided meditation. But people are going to leave when it's no longer beneficial for them to be around you. And a very hard and blatant truth is that relationships need to be mutually beneficial. When they are not mutually beneficial, that is where power dynamics come into play. That's where being taken advantage of comes into play. That's where it gets very uncomfortable for both parties. Even if the person is taking advantage, it's uncomfortable for them. They either lack self-awareness to know that's what they're doing, or they're fully aware of the fact that they're taking advantage of you and they do not care enough about you to stop. That is uncomfortable. Only people who do not have a spirit or a soul or self-awareness think that that's appropriate behavior. So people will leave when you set boundaries because it's no longer beneficial to keep you in their life. And what I found for myself is the sooner that I accepted that truth, the easier it became for me to move on from relationships. I can understand if something is no longer beneficial, right? It's no longer beneficial for me to be treated the way that I'm being treated. And that's why I'm asking to change the dynamic. So I have to also be willing and open to the fact that they may not like that change of the dynamic because it no longer benefits them. Because now I'm asking you to operate in a way that you're not used to operating. I'm asking you to move with kindness, with awareness, with a sense of care and consideration for my well-being. You weren't used to doing that. I can understand why you would not want to learn that skill set. That can be a very hard thing for people to learn. I can also accept that and allow you to move on from spaces. And I look at it more as moving on and making space for the person to come into my life that is in alignment, as opposed to me losing somebody. I haven't lost anyone yet. At all. If anything, I've just made space. And when you move from that understanding, the people that come into your life afterwards, unmatched. Like, the alignment is just creme de la creme. Like, you realize, ooh, I was holding this person back from them finding people that they can be in alignment with just as much as they were holding me back from people that I can be in alignment with. I'm so grateful that we made that space for each other. And then you come from a space of gratitude. Like, I really hope that they're doing well. I hope that they found their people, because I have. And I know I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying these new dynamics, baby. And I really pray that they're doing the same thing. And if they're not, then that's their journey. But I don't have any hard feelings. It wasn't beneficial. That makes sense. Okay. As a mother, it's hard to walk away from a relationship with my son who lives with me and keeps straddling boundaries. Also, not kind to me. I get stuck in what love will do, and the boundaries come down. Thank you for sharing. My question should be what loving me will do. Yes, yeah, and I'm not sure, obviously, at the age of what your child is. Obviously, if there's a minor, there's a bit more of a, um, they have to kind of stay with you, right? Because that is your responsibility as a parent. But if they are not a minor, yeah, you know, the dynamic goes both ways, right? Like, the same way I have to do this with my own mother, which was very painful for me to do. Sometimes, as a parent, you're going to have to do it with your child, for them to hopefully grow and learn and transform from the dynamic, because you still are human. Yes, you are a parent, and that is a big part of who you are, but it is not all that you are. You also exist outside of that title and outside of that responsibility. And it's often when we forget that we exist outside of our responsibilities and our titles that we end up getting to that world of niceness, and then people play games with us and they don't respect boundaries because we don't necessarily have any. So just be open to the fact that it's going to cause some type of resistance, some type of contrast. People are not going to really enjoy that. But there will then be an influx of people and of energy where you feel comfortable with it, where you feel happy, and where you feel safe, and where you feel sound. And if those people truly love you and truly care for your well being, they will adjust. They will adjust. If they realize, like, she is doing this, they're doing this, he is doing this so that they can feel better and safer in life, and I love this person, they will adjust. I've adjusted plenty of times to respect people's boundaries, and it does not bother me at all because I love them. I care for them. I want them to feel safe around me. It is not hurting me to respect someone else's boundaries. Okay? All right. So we're going to, when you have yourself, you have everything. Ashe, Michael. Stay away from toxicity. And then you have yourself. Thanks, everyone. I'm number one. Period. TJ, I love this for you. Oh, you guys are so welcome. This conversation that I stumbled upon. I'm grateful for this. Michelle, I'm so happy you're here. Oh, Roha, thanks for the lotus flower emoji. Yay. Yes, I love these scripts that you have for your boundaries. Yes, yes, yes. It's a very visual experience for me in my head. If they're upset with your boundaries, a reflection of them. Exactly, Jessica. Yes, all the way truth. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, 27. Yeah. Okay. They not only is your child grown, they've also developed themselves mentally, right? So like they can handle you changing and shifting. Yeah, your child is your child, but it is an adult, right? And also understand too, at that age, they're probably experiencing their Saturn return. If you have like their birth information and things like that, I know you may not be big on astrology. A lot of people are, but I always encourage parents to check that out because it tells you a lot about what your kid is going through, even when they're not telling you. And around 26 to 29, you experience your first Saturn return, and it makes you a very different human being. I was not my best during that time. I'm sure I stressed my mother out a lot. But it is something to look into. It helps to bring perspective as to what they're experiencing. And maybe even if you remember what you were going through during that age, you will then be able to be like, oh, okay. And it allows you to have a little bit of grace for them, but also for you to still sustain your own boundaries and be like, life is hard, maybe for you. You're going through some things, but it doesn't mean that you get to be mean to me. It just means that life is hard. And I don't mind helping you get through those hard times, but not with me feeling unsafe around you, child or not, right? Okay. How do you go about people not communicating boundaries but expecting it? Um, Again, because boundaries are for you, not for other people, you don't necessarily have to communicate said boundaries. Usually you're modeling behavior, right? And if anything, you're probably reinforcing that model behavior. So for me, I don't necessarily communicate boundaries. It's more of an energy thing as well. People just intuitively know. I think we don't give enough credit to what we feel, and how intuitive we are as a society, because it's not something that's a social norm. But people know. People are around and they know, like, ooh, you know, I can't raise my voice at them. You know, like even for again the experience I had with my niece's father, as upset as he didn't raise his voice at me at all, because he understood the energy. My energy is also that strong because again, I cultivate this on a daily process. Um, so he was upset. He was upset, but he did not raise his voice at me, not once. And I think it was genuinely killing him to not do it. But my energy just doesn't allow that. My boundaries are that strong. So as you're, I guess, building up to it, getting to that point where people just know, you can always just be like, oh, I don't really respond well to someone raising their voice at me. And it feels like you're raising your voice at me. It's making it very hard for me to hear you. Right? That's just me telling you that my boundaries is do not raise your voice at me at all. Right? There's a way to communicate it with the level of love and care. If it's that people are late and they're always late and taking up your time, and that's a thing that annoys you, you can let them know, like, ooh, my time is really precious to me, and I do my best to be on time for you, and I would love that to be reciprocated. If it's something you're unable to do, though, please let me know, and then we can adjust, right? So, like, my sister has time blindness. She's terrible at being on time, but I'm now aware of that. It's not that it's something against me, just who she is. So I adjust. I'll let her know that it's an hour before it is, and everything is fine, right? The adjustments are simple. It just matters how important they are to you if you're willing to make those adjustments and communicate them like that, right? But if they're like random strangers or like kind of people at work, things like that, the boundary is work itself. I'm not sharing personal information with you at work. Or once the clock strikes whatever time it is that I'm off, I'm actually off. So you can email me, you can call me all you want, but I'm not responding until I'm back on the clock because that's what I'm being paid to do. Things like that. There are natural boundaries in society and in your life that already exist. I guess my question would be to reflect on them and to ask, are you honoring those boundaries that already exist? Because most times we're not. Most times we're the ones that are bending over backward for other people, and we're the ones that are respecting our own boundaries. They're not even doing it because they don't they don't think it's a boundary because we don't think it's a boundary. Okay. Thanks. What you just said will help me. My child is becoming really moody, heading to teenage years, and I'm finding it hard to stay calm and deal with without. We'll always be like best friends in a team. Yeah, people change. Hormones are a big deal too as a teenager. Hormones suck as a teenager because it's literally like your body's being hijacked, and you may even not want to express yourself that way, but you have no idea why you're doing it. People do not teach about like hormones, which I think is crazy. But yeah, I would check their hormone levels too. And human design is a great way to learn more about your child. And then obviously like their astrology chart. If this is something that you like, want to do. Okay, perfect. Yay, 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 yay. Oh, you're beautiful, wise, and supportive with real life experience. Thank you so much. I feel blessed to have found you. I feel blessed to have you. It's what I needed. Thank you for divine timing. Oh my goodness. I lived 44 years with it. As yes, a people pleaser to family religion. Even after being freed, I remain as I was attracted to predators until I was guided to my true love. 8 years with him before he passed. Oh, I'm so sorry for that. I find myself alone now and magically I will not associate with that. It's not true love, fake love, be gone. Yes, Noni, yes. Only love that is deserving of you should be in your life. Anything else is actually like not love. Like it doesn't exist. Like, and cultivate that love for yourself. And it shows you that even through what you've been through, you were still able to call in that desired love. So it does exist, right? Energy never dies. Now, the vessel in which it comes through may shift and change throughout life, but love never goes away. Okay? Okay. Yay! Okay, perfect. So we are a little bit behind. So for those of us that have to leave before we do the EFT session, I completely understand. But if you are able to stay for maybe like another 15 minutes, you'll be able to do the meditation and the EFT. If not, do not worry. Eventually these meditations and EFTs will be available to the public. I'll have them on my Insight Timer, hopefully within the next quarter, okay? So we're going to do the meditation. As soon as unless I'm turning my thing on. Oops. This way. While I'm doing this, what I would love for you to do is to get comfortable. Perfect. And find a space that feels good for you to meditate on relationships, okay? And the gratitude that we'll be cultivating for them. I'm gonna turn this off completely. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. And take a drink of water too. We processed a lot of emotions just now, even in the conversation. I know it didn't feel like it, but yeah, drink some water if you can as well. And I'll give you guys a few seconds. Okay. All right. Let me know when you guys are ready. You can if you want to. If you want to bring your crystal and charm from yesterday, by all means, you can use it for any meditation for the 28 days. Okay, just let me know you guys are ready. Just put some hearts so then that way I know I can begin. I don't want to start before most of us are ready to go. Okay. 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 Perfect. 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 All right. Hmm. Beautiful. This guided meditation is called Bonding Bliss, elevating connections through the power of gratitude. Let's begin this meditation by finding a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, allowing yourself to relax and to begin noticing the body. And we're just witnessing our body. We're not judging it. We're not criticizing, oh, my breath is not deep enough right now, or my heart is racing. We're simply just witnessing the body. Noticing if there's any tension and utilizing our inhales to breathe through that tension and our exhales to find relief in this moment. If it feels good for you and safe for you, you can close your eyes or soften your gaze and begin taking in a deep inhale, filling in your lungs, expanding the chest and the heart, and exhale, slowly releasing any stress or worries from your mind. Today we're going to focus on the transformative power of gratitude in our relationships. And as we do this, I want you to continue to utilize the beauty in breathing in as slowly and as deeply as you can. And exhale, releasing, maybe with an open mouth, dropping the tongue from the roof of the mouth and letting the air glide out. Softening the shoulders a bit, trusting in your body more as we breathe in together as a collective. And exhale, letting go, coming home to self. Continue this pattern of breathing throughout this guided meditation so that it can be an anchor for you. As you increase your gratitude for any relationship, you open the door to an abundance of happiness and good things within that relationship. Gratitude not only enhances our relationship with others, but also changes us from within. Let's meditate on that by breathing in, knowing that as we are breathing in, we are ushering in change. And as we exhale and let go, we're sending gratitude out to the relationships in our lives that we appreciate, and maybe even the ones that need a little bit more love right now. No matter what your temperament is now, gratitude has the magical ability to cultivate patience, understanding, compassion, and kindness within you. I'd love for you to bring to the forefront of your mind a relationship that is important to you. Do your best to focus in on just one, knowing that you can return to this meditation when needed. Think about this relationship that's important to you. Someone you deeply care about. It could be a partner, a family member, a friend, a colleague, a pet, a child. Picture them in your mind's eye to the best of your ability. Feel their presence, the warmth they provide you, and their familiarity. Use each breath to envision them. Maybe their smile, maybe the way that they smell, their favorite color and how they wear their hair. Notice them and notice how your heart swells up with this deep sensation of love, of care, of genuine gratitude for their existence. As you reflect on the things you're most grateful for about this person, answer these questions. What are their best qualities? What makes them unique and special to you? Give yourself a few breaths to appreciate their strengths, their kindness, their support, and the joy they bring into your life. Beautiful, deep inhales, breathing into the lower belly, expand into the lower back, allowing the air to rise up into our heart space. And exhale, let go, focusing deeper on the love you feel for them, on the gratitude you have for them. As you hold their image in your mind, express gratitude for them. Begin by saying thank you, followed by their name, and then state what you're grateful for about them. Take your time and really focus in on what you are so grateful for when it comes to this person in your life. Let the words flow from your heart, filling up the body with appreciation and love. Feel the warmth and gratitude radiating from your heart as you acknowledge the beauty and the goodness in them. And on that next inhale, see if you can extend that acknowledgement to the beauty and goodness in everyone around you. Know that by expressing gratitude for others just as they are, you're inviting more love, joy, and fulfillment into your relationships and your life. Allow a deep breath in, feeling the love and gratitude surrounding you. And exhale slowly, knowing that you planted seeds of positivity that will bloom and flourish in your relationship. When it feels good for you, I want you to bring your hands around your body. Give yourself a hug, almost as if you're embracing this loved one. Feel the warmth of your arms around you. Maybe give a nice little squeeze. Feel the heart soften a bit. Feel your gratitude for them expand. And as we begin to close this guided meditation, say thank you. Thank you so much for being in my life. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the love. Thank you for your existence. And when you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes or refocus your gaze, carrying this sense of gratitude and appreciation with you as you continue throughout your day. Remember, gratitude is the key to nurturing and strengthening our relationships. creating deeper connections and greater happiness for all involved. Thank you so much for journeying with me in this guided meditation. Beautiful. Let me know how you're feeling. Go ahead and grab some water, please, and thank you. I'm gonna give us like a moment, and then we're gonna jump right into the EFT, okay? So that we can close out in the next couple of minutes. Beautiful. Oh, Nadia, I'm so happy. Felt like a hug. Yes, Nia. Oh, yes. I think it's so important when we get to meditate, especially when you're having a rough time in another relationship or with someone else. It's nice to know that, like, oh no, I do know how to have healthy relationships. I do have a sense of gratitude that's cultivated in me. Even if the relationship that you're talking about is the one you have with yourself or with your source, God, universe, whatever you call on to, that too can be the relationship that you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be a physical person, right? Or it can just be you. Sometimes I use this meditation for myself. I'm like, I'm just grateful for you, Lotus. Like, I'm grateful you exist. And being honest in that is just so liberating. This kind of meditation is so powerful for shifting relationships. Yes, Ginger. And that is exactly why I created it. The hope is that it will cultivate more gratitude for you and your loved ones so that your relationships can feel wonderful, ultimately. Sia, love you. Emotional, soft heart, grateful. Yes, Amy. Beautiful, I feel special. You are special, Bentley. Beautiful, beautiful, emotional. Yes, this was beautiful. I'm so happy to hear that. Yay! Okay, so now we're going to get into the EFT session, and this is glowing gratitude. And I'm so excited because you guys know how much I love EFT. I think it's so powerful and transformative. I love coupling it with meditation. I just feel like it just does something that needs to be done. Okay, let me actually just change this because I want to make sure that it's not rubbing against during the meditation. While I do this, please again drink some water. Um, if you have something to write with, if something came up for you, hello, how are you? Let that be known. Okay, feeling expansive. I love this for you, Erna. Do you have that recorded here? I do have it recorded, but it hasn't been put on Insight Timer yet. So I literally wrote out 28 new meditations and EFT sessions. So I'll be recording them and then placing them on Insight Timer. So it will be on Insight Timer. It's just not on Insight Timer right now. But I do have a really fantastic guided meditation and EFT combination on gratitude and feeling thankful for yourself and the relationships and the life you have. And it's called True Thankfulness. And that is available on my page right now. Okay. So great for me to help restore that relationship that was rocked yesterday. So much love. Yes, Amy, I love the EFT. That's what you said. Could you do it in the morning or just at night? Bentley, you can do EFT literally whenever you want to. One of the reasons why I love it is that it's so flexible. It doesn't matter when you do it. It's still going to provide you with the level of nourishment and healing that you need. So I like to do mine literally whenever I need it. So sometimes it's in the morning. Sometimes it's at night. Sometimes it's randomly in the middle of the afternoon, or sometimes it's like while I'm in like a work session and I can feel myself getting tense and I'm just like, ooh, I'm feeling a little out of control. And it helps to recenter you. If not immediately, you'll definitely feel a sense of relief after the practice, okay? Yeah, looking forward to more meditations at EFT. Me too, I'm so excited. Soften me towards my kid feeling unappreciated yesterday, but grateful for what the experience taught me. Yes, Michelle. It's so incredible what gratitude can do for us. It's the secret sauce to life. I firmly believe that. All right, let's get into the EFT session. So before we begin, for those who are new here, EFT is called Emotional Freedom Technique or Techniques, and it's simply the art of tapping on ancient acupressure points along the body. And what it does is it helps us to clear any blockages, it helps us to clear any blockages in our energy system. So our energy pathways run within us and outside of us. And when we're tapping, we're actually strengthening our auras, we're strengthening our internal energy, and we're allowing ourselves to feel in alignment with our true divine being, right? And there's like science back to this too. This is not just like spiritual woo-woo stuff, even though spiritual woo-woo stuff is awesome. There are tons of researchers that show that this helps with things like PTSD, um, trauma related experiences. It helps with things from like weight loss to overcoming phobias. Like it works. Okay. And what happens is that you're also rewiring the neural pathways in your brain to accept a new reality and to release old ones that are no longer serving you. Okay. And it's super simple. You just have to watch me and follow exactly what it is that I do. And that's pretty much it. I want you to use your voice throughout the EFT session because your voice helps to activate transformation for your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind knows your voice intimately. Okay, so please use your voice, activate your vagus nerve by speaking these truths over you, and just enjoying yourself in the moment. Now, if you're highly sensitive, I'm going to show you some alternative ways to tap. So one way you can tap is literally by lightly tapping in the tapping point. But if you're really sensitive, you're either going to pulse, rub, or hover, where you're not actually touching. They all have the exact same effect on the body. It just is what you prefer and what feels best for you. As you're tapping along the different points, you might notice that one point feels really good for you. I call that your sweet spot. If it feels good to stay in that space, stay in that space. For me, my sweet spot is my collarbone. So sometimes when I'm tapping, I'll just stay here because that's what my body needs. You might also know that when you're tapping, you might also realize that when you're tapping, you might belch, yawn, tear up. Your temperature might increase or decrease. These are all just signs that the energy in your body is being awakened, that energy is coming together for you, and they're all beautiful signs. It just also shows that you're human and your body has energy stored up in it and it's trying to release it. You might even tear up. These are all normal signs. That doesn't mean anything's wrong. What I would always suggest too is that you just drink water before and after the practice and give yourself time to like settle into the energy. But it almost feels instant, okay? Beautiful. Okay, thank you, Nani, for the donation. Thank you so much. Will we be able to have access to discussion as this took place? Yes, you will. So I have it recorded on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be releasing the days once the 28 days are complete. But all of what we're doing, I made sure to record it so that you guys will have access to it. But I also would like to edit it so that it's not taking up as much time. And that takes time for me because it's only me doing this. I'm writing the meditations, I'm recording them, hosting the space, editing as well, doing the artwork, all the captions and copywriting. It's all me. So it does take some time, but you will have access to the conversation. I made sure of that. Wonderful. Okay, the only thing I was excited about today was waiting for the EFT meditation. Okay, Bentley, let's get into it then. Say less. Okay, we're gonna start. So the 9 tapping points are the side of hand where my tattoo is, and you would lightly tap here, pulse, rub, or hover, whatever one you want to do. Then we have the top of the head, which is the crown chakra. Then we have the start of the eyebrow, which is like on either side of your third eye. You can use as many fingers as you want, however you want to tap, it does not matter. You would trace your eyebrow and go to the side of the eye. You would feel the ocular bone. It's not your temples, it's the ocular bone here. And you would tap here. You would trace underneath the eye and tap here. Then underneath your nose, you would tap here. Then in the crease of your chin, you would tap here. Collarbone, tap here, either side, doesn't matter. Then underneath your arm. So for those that wear bras, it would be where your bra strap is. For everyone else, you would trace to the ending of your armpit. And you'll start to feel the beginnings of your rib cage, the bones there. You would tap on there. And that would be that tapping point, okay? And you don't need to remember this because you're going to just watch me do it. I just want to go over it with you guys. All right, let's begin. EFT, glowing gratitude for relationship bliss. We're going to begin at the side of hand and lightly tap here and repeat after me. Even though I may have had complaints about my relationships in the past, I deeply and completely accept myself and my desire to cultivate gratitude within them. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Same space, side of hand. Apologize. Even though I may have had complaints about my relationships in the past, I deeply and completely accept myself and my desire to cultivate gratitude within them. We're going to move to the top of the head. This gratitude practice can transform my relationships. Eyebrow. I acknowledge the power of gratitude to bring abundance into my connections with others. Side of eye. Even if I've had doubts about my relationships, gratitude can change them for the better. Under the eye. I choose to focus on the good things about the people in my life. Under the nose, tap here. Thank you for the opportunity to appreciate the qualities of my loved ones. Chin. I release any criticisms or judgments I've held toward my relationships. Collarbone. I'm grateful for the love and support I receive from others. Under the arm. Gratitude fills my heart and strengthens my connections with those I care about. I'm going to go to the side of hand. Even though it may be hard to see the positive qualities in some people, I deeply and completely accept myself and my willingness to shift my perspective with gratitude. Going to the top of the head. I am open to seeing the best in others. Beautiful eyebrow. Gratitude transforms my perceptions and brings me closer to those I love. Side of the eye. Thank you for the unique qualities and strengths of each person in my life. Under the eye. I choose to focus on what I appreciate about each relationship. Under the nose. Gratitude dissolves any barriers to love and connection. Chin. I am so thankful for the growth and joy that gratitude brings my relationships. That felt good. Let's do that one again. I am so thankful for the growth and joy that gratitude brings to my relationships. Collarbone. I embrace the magic of gratitude and its power to enrich my connections with others. And under the arm. With each expression of gratitude, my relationships flourish and thrive. And I want you to place your hands over your heart space. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Allow a nice deep inhale in, breathing in through the lower belly, allowing that breath to move up into the heart space. Exhale, release, soften. Maybe bring a smile to your face. And then we're going to say the magic words, thank you, 3 times to close this practice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And when it feels good, you can open your eyes, refocus your gaze, feeling a sense of peace and gratitude wash over you. You can repeat these rounds as needed, allowing gratitude to deepen your connections and bring more love and happiness into your life. Beautiful. Let me know how you're feeling. And please drink water, okay? That was super intense. And even if it felt very light, you want to make sure you're drinking something after this. Okay, so good. I'm sitting outside in the sunshine tapping. Ooh, I love a little sun therapy with EFT. That sounds amazing, Ginger. Namaste, namaste. Amazon, thank you. Oh my goodness, I hope you all are feeling good and grounded and clear, understanding the magic that gratitude can provide you in your relationships as you move forward throughout today and just the rest of, your life. I think it's super important. I know we're starting off the week strong. Remember that the next 4 days are already available to RSVP for Gratitude Galore, where we join every day at the same time. And we have insightful conversation. We tap in and tune in with gratitude and EFT. And ultimately just allow ourselves to refocus and strengthen our relationship to gratitude. Okay? And then also for everyone else, every Sunday I host Spirit Hour. It's at 5:15 a.m. my time, which is Eastern Standard Time. And that's where I do a guided meditation for the week. We set an intention and we do a card pull. I'm going to be putting that information into the group on Insight Timer because I did forget yesterday. So be on the lookout for that. And the group on Insight Timer is Lotus Living. If you go to my teacher's profile page, you'll see that that's the only group that I have. I want to make it very simple for you. You can join and get insights and things like that there, connect with other people outside of the live, and ultimately just, have a bit more access to me if you need it. If you're looking for like one-on-one sessions or some type of coaching or, you want me to make a custom script for you, things like that, please feel free to like DM me on Insight Timer and then I can give you like the proper protocol to do that. Okay, I know you guys have been asking. I'm grateful for you, Lotus. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. I'm so grateful I was guided to your room today. I'm happy you're here too, Amazon. So grateful, exactly what I needed. Thank you. Namaste, namaste, Michelle. Loved it. I actually yawned a lot. That's so good. Like I tell people all the time. I feel like it's a little easier to do EFT virtually, because in person people are yawning, they're tearing up, they're like, what's going on? It just shows that there's a lot of energy that was stagnant in the body, and you're tapping and releasing that. So you're going to feel more vibrant. Okay? I feel clear in my mind. I'm grateful to have found this. I am too. Oh my God. It wanted to just stay in the sweet spot. Yeah, the sweet spots feel good, don't they? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're so welcome, Erna. Grateful. I'm so happy, Cicely. Sending peace, love, and light to all. Ashe, Michelle. Oh my goodness, this was amazing. What I needed. Got the power of EFT. EFT is that girl, okay? I love EFT so much. I'm so happy you enjoyed it, Faith. Thank you for sharing your light with us. Thank you for receiving my light. It's so important to have spaces like this where we can just be, you know? I feel like I could sleep right now in the middle of the day, so relax. Thank you so much. Why, if you can sleep, if you can take a nap, do it. Your body's just telling you that it wants to internalize the work that you've just done. Sometimes people get sleepy after EFT, and it's when we're sleeping that our brain processes everything that we've gone through throughout the day. So if you can take a nap, take a nap. If you can't take a nap, drink some water, okay? Beautiful. Yes, I'm so happy. Thank you all again for joining me, for staying on a little longer than usual. I do try to keep it to an hour, but the conversation was so good. We just got lost in it, which is beautiful. It's a sign that we're in alignment with our own spiritual well-being, right? Thank you again. If you guys are able to donate, please feel free to donate either here or utilizing the other alternatives that I left in the beginning of the chat. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 4. Oh my gosh. It's going to fly past. It's going to fly past us, and we're going to feel so good. I'm so excited. Thank you for being the best part of my day. Y'all have been the best part of my day every single day. I look forward to this, and I hope you genuinely can see how happy I am being in space with you. It's the best. I love it so much. Okay? I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Kiana. Nia, have a beautiful day. I can't wait for day 4 either, Bentley. It's going to be so good. Oof, we're almost... Oof, okay. Anyway, I love you guys. Gotta go. Bye.